Hey guys, what's going on? This is going to be my debut video for a YouTube channel that I've been thinking about making for a couple of years now and just really kind of been procrastinating a lot. The thing that really riled me up lately was this newfound child pornography accusation, but apparently it's not an accusation because he admitted to it with Austin Jones. I've been trying to avoid it. I'm like, I don't want to make my first video about something like this. But alas, I am. So, Austin Jones, I had no idea who this guy was until he blew up on every major feed that I actually come across. Essentially, he was manipulating younger girls to, I guess, send them videos of themselves either scantily clad, fully nude, maybe nude from the bottom, like the waist down, and do some fucking twerking video. Initially I thought, you know what, he's a pervert. I didn't really look into it too far. And after I saw that video, it just really drove it home for me how hard he was trying to obtain these videos of these sexually explicit teenagers. So I just decided I wanted to make this probably, I don't know, maybe a 5-minute video about this. People keep calling him a pedophile, and I'm going to say it right now, this dude isn't a pedophile. There's some other obscure term for it. I've seen it thrown around in like the comments and whatnot. Pedophilia is, I would say, reserved for the most vile of people. This guy is equally as vile, but not in the same category. Not to defend him in any way, I just wanted to clear that up, because pedophilia is on a totally different level, and it should keep that level to itself for people that should be dealt with on that level. What he did, obviously disgusting, totally wrong. He screwed his entire life. And yes, he should absolutely do some jail time. No one's gonna refute that by any means. That's not what this video is really about anyways. The biggest thing to me, and it seems that people kind of choose to forget, or maybe just to choose to leave it out because a 24-year-old man should not be soliciting to a 14 or 15-year-old girl saying, "You're not a true fan unless you show me your butthole." That's pretty fucked up to me. But the thing was, I have to ask myself, and I'm sure a million people have asked, where are the parents of these teenage girls? That's one of the biggest things that concerns me about something like this, is because every teenage girl has access to a phone, the internet, some kind of recording device, something or other where they can actually, if they choose to, partake in these sort of activities. And the fact of the matter is, teens will be teens, but there also has to be something instilled in them as far as that's not right to do. I've been an integral part of my now 16-year-old niece's life, and I drilled it into her head in a very positive manner that that's not what you do with guys. Any kind of figure that you are trying to impress, that's not the path you go down to achieve, I suppose, your desired results. She would actually, because I talked to her about this, and because I suppose we're closer in age than, her and her grandparents, she really actually took to it and really listened to it. And the end result was that anytime a guy in her class or some pervy dude on the internet would come and be like, "Hey, send me pictures of you in your panties," or "Hey, can I get a butt shot?" She would come to me and be like, "Look what this guy just wrote me. What do I say back to him?" Because she just wasn't the type of person that, would instantly write back, "F you, man, take a hike." So just because I kind of molded that idea into her head when she was younger, it really stuck, and she never fell into that, whole "I'm going to be accepted if I do this or this or this" that guys are, vying for. People talk about Austin Jones manipulating these girls and his use of power and whatnot. And yes, I agree. He totally abused his power. He totally manipulated. But let me tell you this: being a teenage guy, I was there at one point. Lots of people are. We all know how to manipulate. It doesn't matter. It happens every day. It happens across high schools, junior highs, in the bars. When you're 30, it doesn't matter. People manipulate to get what they want. And I just really, I think, instilled in her that these people will try to manipulate you for these things. And over the years, she'd go from junior high, and then she was in high school, and she started to actually see these first-hand instances of these males being like, "Oh, I think you're beautiful, I love you, blah, 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 send me a nude." They get that nude, next day all their friends see it, and the guy's calling her a slut. She saw that, and she was so grateful for the fact that someone was actually there to be like, "Yo, listen up, kid." So my biggest concern was, where are these parents? Like, I understand you think probably your kid is awesome and they wouldn't do that, and they're just, having a good time, they have a crush on this internet dude. But bottom line is, even if it wasn't an internet guy, it could be someone else. So I think the biggest part in any child-parent relationship, there should be a huge part of that. Birds and the bees, yeah. We're living in a different society now. It's like creeps in the internet. I guess that works, but I mean, the talks have to be completely different. And I don't think it should be like, give me your cell phone so I can track it all the time, because if you really instill these actual ideals in these children, male or female, males shouldn't be doing this, females shouldn't be doing this, it's not right, I think society will have a lot better outcome as it's going on, because let's agree, we're seeing more and more and more and more of this as time goes by, as the internet grows, social media platforms, everything else. This thing that drives me bonkers is this I can't even say it because it annoys me so much. The over-sexualization of teenage girls or even preteen girls. Who is to blame for that? It's obviously a big part media, a big part internet, combined together into this hypersexualized teenage girl. And when things like this happen, that happened with Austin Jones or whoever the fuck else that happens with, people immediately go, "Oh, lynch mob, lynch this guy." Sure, it's a mob mentality, it's a knee-jerk reaction, and that's what people are thinking, like, this guy is terrible, this guy's a pervert. Yes, he's terrible, he's a pervert, but these things seem to be making a pathway for these people to successfully be creeps and perverts and terrible people. But when I see on YouTube a bloody 12-year-old girl, what was her name? My niece was watching it, Kendall K or something like that, in a crop top, short shorts, popping her ass. I'm just like, instantly looked up, how old is this girl? She made the video when she was 12 and she's acting like that. How do you fix what's going on in society right now with that? It's not only perpetuating the image of sexuality and full sexual matureness and everything else, it's giving these people the full opportunity to just fill their fucking basket, man. You can sit there and completely blame someone like Austin Jones. Of course you can, his actions are his own, he's to blame. At the other end of the spectrum, media, society, over-sexualization of females, and not enough proper information, probably from the parents. It's all in its own freaking basket together. It all works together to create what's happening nowadays with young females. And how do you even change it? But that's the biggest thing for me. Yes, these people are terrible. They're given sometimes this weird opportunity to look at a 15-year-old girl in a micro bikini or some shit like that. And you start to wonder why these instances are increasingly happening. Why the fuck do you think they're happening? It's clear. It's clear as day. It's crystal clear. you're standing on the sun, it's so bright, that's how clear it is. There's reasons behind this. And, you know, these people are opportunists. That's pretty fucking evident. Austin Jones is a opportunist with tendencies towards teenage girls. Yet, society just keeps pumping him out, pumping it out, pumping him out. This rant is kind of big and kind of ridiculous, but I think it has a lot of valid points that people really need to process and really consider into their, you know, daily thought process and everything else. It's easy to completely attack and expect a 24-year-old guy to spend 30 years in jail, and no one stops and thinks about why is he doing this, besides the fact that he has something, you know, fundamentally probably a little twisted in his brain. You know, when I was in junior high, girls looked like little freaking nerds, like, bottom line. It's just this weird hypersexualization that's kind of, I think, is feeding this type of mentality and thought process. I guess it's not really relevant to what this whole video has been about, although I think it is relevant to say, because I think it's important to talk about as far as the safety of our youth. I know how easy it is to attack someone like a pedophile or a hebephilia, whatever the fuck it is. It's like 15 to 19-year-olds, that's what you're attracted to, or some shit like that. Super easy to attack. Clearly easy to attack. Another thing I want to talk about is the fact that there are people out there in your high schools, in your junior highs, supplying these kids with hard drugs. And yet somehow the eyes just turn blind. We talk about, these predators are ruining these girls' lives. Yeah, it probably has some significant impact in these girls' lives when these things happen to them, regardless of whether it's physical contact or over the internet. But these drug dealers are feeding our kids hard drugs, and no one stops to think when that 13-year-old girl's life gets completely ruined and turned around because she gets addicted to Oxycontin. You can't just attack one group that's destroying these kids' lives. It has to really broaden, and there has to be a bit more light shed on other things like this because it's very important. That's a really small thing I wanted to throw in there. Maybe it could be a different video, but yeah, these drugs and these drug dealers who never caught, if they were caught, people are like, he's just a drug dealer, no biggie. The safety and the education of our youth, because it seems to be getting chopped in half compared to what I was used to when I was growing up. So again, yeah, my debut video, I'm sure maybe there'll be, other videos that I kind of come across and decide I want to comment on. We'll see. Peace.